Authority of Pakistan, Karachi. This webinar regarding trade promotion between Pakistan and Iran is organized by Embassy of Pakistan in Iran, Trade Investment Counselor Mr. Masood Ahmed and Trade Development Authority of Pakistan to discuss trade promotion between Pakistan and Iran. Iran is our brother neighbor country. Pakistan and Iran had $1.5 million bilateral trade in 2019-20. Source, Erica. Pakistan top trade exports to Iran are rice, fruits, guava and mango, pepper, cattle, meat, medical, surgical and dental instruments, mammals, and machines. Pakistan's top trade imports from Iran are petroleum oil, date, dried nuts, dairy produce, juice, and fruits. In this webinar, Mr. Masood Ahmed, Trade and Investment Counselor of Pakistan at Tehran, Mr. Arshad Javed Sandar, Chairman, Pakistan Sports Goods Exporters Association, Mr. Malik Faisal Jahangir, Senior Vice Chairman, REIT, are invited as speakers from Pakistan side. And Mr. Hasamdeen A. Halaj, Deputy for International Affairs, Tehran Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Abdul Hakim Riki, President, Zahedan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Mr. Saidroza Aghazadi, DG Trade Promotion Organization of Iran, are invited as speakers from Iran. TDAP welcome all the speakers and participants in this webinar. I have also TDAP officers here in this webinar, and I request them that they may introduce themselves.
Dost Muhammad, Deputy Director, International Marketing Division, TDAP, Karachi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Atidas Khan, and I'm Assistant Director in International Marketing Division.
Good morning, I'm Abdullah Hori, Assistant Director.
My name is Najib Siddiq. I was working in international marketing. Now I have been posted in other division. Thank you.
I'm Engineer Ali, Senior General Manager, Engineering Development Board, representing Ministry of Industries and Production and Engineering Development Board, Islamabad. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your introduction. Now I will invite Mr. Masood Ahmed, Trade and Investment Counselor of Pakistan at Tehran, for his views. Please. Sir, if there is noise from your side, we are not able to listen to you. Not clear. Voice is there, sir. Line is not clear.
I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Pakistan and Iran are two brotherly neighboring Islamic countries tied together by the string of commonalities embedded in religion, culture, and history of both the countries. In recent years, we have witnessed much improvement in bilateral relations of both the countries. This improvement is the result of frequent interactions of leadership of the countries with utmost sincerity. Opening of new border crossing point of Gabd Rimdan and the upcoming opening of new sustenance border markets and Mand Pishin border crossing point will take the warmth of this relationship further up on the trajectory of our friendship. The benefit of improved relationship will further deepen if it translates into commercial and economic ties also. It has been observed that our bilateral trade statistics have been fluctuating over the years, which shows that potential of our bilateral trade and economic ties has not been harnessed to an optimal level. While some hurdles, such as the US sanctions on Iran, are beyond control, though some betterment is expected after government change in the United States, the bilateral trade of Pakistan and Iran is also suffering from some systemic issues which are turning chronic. When a ship does not know the harbor it is heading for, no wind is the right wind. Therefore, both our countries need to focus on these problems because in their presence, the conventional methods of trade promotion, for example, webinars, trade delegations and exhibitions, etc., might not bear the desired levels of success. The bilateral trade systemic problems exist on both sides, and they mainly comprise of non-tariff barriers and slow progress of implementation of decisions taken at various diplomatic forums, for example, Joint Economic Commission, Joint Trade Committee, and Joint Border Trade Committee. We are actively following up with our Iranian partners to hold 21st Joint Economic Commission and 9th Joint Trade Committee sessions, whereas 8th session of the Joint Border Trade Committee has already been held on 20th October last year, in which several issues including extension of Pakistan customs working hours at the borders have been settled amicably. This is the beauty of engaging and having talks and frequent interactions. In the implementation of decisions of these bilateral forums are hidden the solutions to the systemic problems I was referring to. If I have to mention these issues specifically, some of them include improper implementation of preferential trade agreement due to which it could not give desired results since 2006. Our PTA has fallen prey to non-tariff barriers such as banning import of finished textile goods, kinnu, and several other goods by Iranian government unilaterally, which has been pointed out to relevant authorities in Iran, who have promised to look into that. Finalization of free trade agreement at the earliest may provide a solution to this problem. Further, road tax, load tax, and charging hefty fees on attestation of SPS documents of Pakistani exporters by Iranian consul generals in Pakistan is another example. Pakistan is not charging these, therefore the Iranian authorities have been requested to keep the principle of reciprocity in view while dealing with Pakistani transport companies and exporters. Likewise, a problem of Iranian specialized meat trucks surfaced that they were not being allowed to go to Pakistani cities for picking up meat from slaughterhouses. This issue has been taken up by the embassy with the relevant Pakistani ministry. It will be resolved very soon. To counter the impact of US sanctions on bilateral trade, it is imperative that a formal barter trade mechanism is rolled out at the earliest. Quetta and Zahidan chambers of commerce and industry have been entrusted with this job, but we have observed that the pace is very slow. FPCCI and Iran Chamber of Commerce should come forward to lend them a helping hand in the shape of technical expertise, so barter trade mechanism is finalized without any further delay. Export of Pakistani rice as a payment for purchase of Iranian electricity can have a boost because of this. I urge Pakistani authorities to allow export of rice in this mode by ship without insisting on fulfilling obligation of e-form, at least till the time new US government gives Iran a breathing space vis-a-vis sanctions. Additionally, the State Bank of Pakistan is requested to sign banking payment arrangement agreement with Iran as a solution to US sanctions on international banking transactions with Iran. Countries such as India have been doing that successfully in the past, which secured their trade with Iran, whereas Pakistan, due to inaction, has suffered an export loss of over 600 million US dollar over a decade of rice alone. I suggest to business community of both the countries to consider establishing a joint industrial zone at Pakistan-Iran border at Gap Rimdan, taking advantage of Rimdan free zone, which is part of Chabahar free zone. Cost of electricity in Iran is very cheap. Pakistan can set up energy intensive units in this joint industrial zone for domestic consumption and export both. In the end, I would encourage the business community on both sides to enhance their level of interaction through webinars, online meetings, and virtual exhibitions till the time COVID-19 settles down and physical traveling and interaction becomes safe. Thank you very much. Over to you, madam.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for discussing in detail bilateral trade between Pakistan and Iran and for your valuable suggestions for the business community in both countries, Pakistan and Iran. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Arshad Javed Sandar, Chairman, Pakistan Sports Goods Exporters Association. Please, sir.
Especially the region of Sialkot. I may repeat something as Mr. Masood has already said, but Iran and Pakistan, which share 959-kilometer border, have in recent years held interactions at various levels to increase border crossings for facilitating trade. Both the countries has opened a new border crossing point in a move likely to bolster business and trade between the two neighboring countries. Located in Iran's southeastern Sistan-Balochistan province, about 130 kilometers from the strategic Chabahar port, Rimdan crossing point is suitably located for import and export of goods between the two sides. The major exports of Pakistan include textiles, leather and sports goods, chemicals, carpets and rugs, surgical instruments, and rice. As since one of the popular games in Iran is football, Pakistan holds the prestigious place of being the best quality football producer in the world. Among the other sports goods, Pakistan exported 42 million footballs worldwide in 2020, and the footballs manufactured in Pakistan are often used in FIFA tournaments, including World Cup. The economy of Iran is the world's 18th largest by purchasing power parity. Some 60% of Iran's economy is centrally planned by oil and gas production, although over 40 industries are directly involved in the Tehran Stock Exchange, one of the best performing exchanges in the world, with 10% of the world's proven oil reserves and 15% of its gas reserves. Iran is considered as an energy superpower. As I told before, that football is the most popular sport in Iran, Iran has been able to qualify for the FIFA World Cup 5 times, won the Asian Cup 3 times, and 4 times has won gold medal at the Asian Games. Freestyle wrestling has been traditionally regarded Iran's national sport. The Iran national futsal team is one of the strongest in the world. Iran has also produced some of the biggest names in weightlifting. It is the birthplace of polo, which was recorded to have been played there in as early as the 6th century before Christ. Warzish-e-Pahlwani is a traditional Iranian martial arts. Above all, Iran is a big market for Sialkot-made Pakistan sport goods and sportswears, fitness and gym articles and wares. It is suggested that ease of business doing should be established in between the two countries, keeping in view the cultural, religious, and traditional brotherhood. Free trade agreement may be signed to import the movement of sports articles by the means of e-commerce, barter, and border gateway by implementing import and export trade benefits through indicated trade barriers and tariffs. SMEs of Pakistan engaged in e-commerce and online business of sports goods and wares are well equipped with their production line, quality concept, global standards, marketplace, and player requirements. Hopefully, Islamic Republic of Iran will cut their duties on sports articles imported from Pakistan at zero rated to facilitate the buyers at their end and promote the business of two brother countries. Thanks and regards. Over to Madam.
Thank you very much, Arshad Javed Sandal, Sahab, Chairman, Pakistan Sports Goods Exporters Association. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Zishan Tariq, Chairman, Pakistan Surgical Goods Exporters Association. Please, Zishan Tariq.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Iran is a very huge potential market for Pakistani instruments. Let me first tell you that the 95% of surgical instruments used all over the world are manufactured in Sialkot, Pakistan. So we claim to be the only suppliers of surgical, medical, veterinary instruments all over the world. Iran has very huge potential because in every exhibition, our members are frequently visited by importers from Iran who wants to buy surgical instruments from us, but there are some hurdles due to which we cannot export our instruments to Iran. The number one is the State Bank of Pakistan does not acknowledge Iran as a potential supplier. So our Form E, the export form, does not get attested from State Bank of Pakistan. Also, there is no payment path. So if an Irani customer wants to send us the payment, there is no possibility. So most of the surgical trade currently is being done by some Irani customers get their shipments to Dubai, and from there they are exported to Iran. But now, due to FATF restrictions, that has been stopped too. So in my opinion, if the government of Pakistan and government of Iran can find a way to solve these two issues, I can assure you that we can have a very good business probability in Iran, because from the feedback I've got from my members who used to work with Irani customers, there is a huge demand of surgical instruments, and importers there are ready to buy from Pakistan. But unfortunately, due to the restrictions, we cannot ship our goods directly to Iran. So most of the trade is being done. Some of the Irani people who visit Sialkot, they buy from some vendors and they get the goods shipped by hand or by some unknown means. But if these 2 or 3 problems are resolved, then I can assure you that export of surgical instruments can be a major factor of the foreign remittance from Iran. These are our issues, and if they can be solved, I assure you that we can do some wonderful business with the companies from Iran. Thank you very much. That's all from me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zishan Tariq, Pakistan, Chairman, Pakistan Surgical Goods Exporters Association, for discussing in detail Pakistan surgical goods exports to Iran and for your valuable suggestions to promote the exports of surgical goods to Iran. Now I would like to invite Mr. Malik Faisal Jahangir, Senior Vice Chairman, REIT. Please, sir.
Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the organizations, the organizers of this webinar today. And as previously Mr. Masood and all the previous speakers have already mentioned about the trade relations between Pakistan and Iran have been through a long way. I am representing Rice Export Association of Pakistan, which is the second largest trade body of Pakistan, and we are the second largest export of second largest exporting product from Pakistan. We have a total of 1,800 members, and our total export volume is $2.3 billion. Rice export from Pakistan has been part of this since 1990s, and till today we are the third generation into the rice exporting businesses. My family and my company started exporting rice to Iran in 1989, and we were amongst the first exporters of rice. Unfortunately, the trade volume between both the countries of rice has declined year by year. Iran being the largest importer of rice in the world, it is a shame for us that being the nearest neighbor and being the largest growing country in the world, we are not fully able to export a product to Iran. There are many trade agreements between the both countries. For example, one of the trade agreement which is by the Tawanir and Ministry of Energy Pakistan, which exists from a very long time. In 2019, there was a trade delegation which came from Iran to Pakistan, which included ETCA, GTC, Government Trading Corporation of Iran, Mr. Karbalai, Mr. Dr. Saif, both the respectable ministers visited the country. In that meeting, this was decided that any purchase which will be done by GTC to anything they import to Iran, Pakistan and the State Bank of Pakistan will settle their e-forms. I was the largest victim of that, and unfortunately, this could not happen. In future, there was one party from Karachi which had agreed to export 60,000 tons of rice to Government Trading Corporation of Iran. There was another exporter from Sheikhupura who had agreed to export 10,000 tons of rice. Unfortunately, both of them had to back off just because the State Bank of Pakistan did not agree to remit the payments or settle the e-forms. So due to that, this problem occurred. Secondly, from the part of Iran, Pakistani exporters have faced lots of financial difficulties to recover their money from Iran. Historically, there have been 4 companies which have defaulted to a large sum of up to hundreds of millions of dollars. For example, Mohsen Rice defaulted for $165 million in 2017. They imported the rice and they denied to pay the payments to their suppliers, which were from India and Pakistan. The total volume of Pakistan was $12 million. Until today, nobody has been able to recover their money. So I would request both the governments and I would request both the business entities from both the countries to come to a level playing ground where there should be level playing fields for both both the countries. For example, from India, if there's ease of doing business, similar should happen with Pakistan as well. Bank of Punjab in India has already settled a trade agreement with the Milli Bank of Iran. And any export done from India is immediately settled for its e-form. Anything which they want to export, the ease of doing business is much more, just like doing business with a normal country and anywhere in the world. There's no fear of sanction from India. But unfortunately, from Pakistan, the businessmen do not get this comfort. So I request both the governments to look forward towards it. We have TDAP over here. We have Mr. Masood, His Excellency, who is currently the commercial counselor in Iran. I have we have one because I am currently working with the Government Trading Corporation of Iran. They have already agreed to us that they will be coming to Pakistan in October 2021, and they will be coming and seeing the Trade Development Authority of Pakistan again to discuss the payment mechanism system. And as per the email of Government Trading of Corporation of Iran, they've already told us that they have $150 million lying with the Central Power Purchasing Authority of Pakistan, which unfortunately cannot be remitted, and they have decided to purchase various products from Pakistan and settle that amount. So there is a huge trade potential between the both countries, but unfortunately, these small teething problems which have existed from a long time should now come to an end, and I believe there should be a comfort for doing business. Just alone itself, Government Trading of Corporation of Iran is a buyer of 200,000 metric tons of basmati rice. Iran in total imports 11.5 million tons, which is a huge market, amongst the largest in the world. And I think as a rice exporter, there's a huge potential to export rice to Iran. We are currently exporting 790,000 tons of basmati from Pakistan. Unfortunately, back in 2011, 2010, it was above a million tons. India is exporting 9.7 million tons of basmati. See the difference. We are the basic heritage owners of basmati. Unfortunately, having this prestige, we are not able to commit to what we were existingly doing. So both the countries need to understand that it is better for Iran, it is better for Pakistan to choose Pakistan as their rice exporter. And similarly, Pakistan needs lots of help from Iran. We need chemicals from Iran. We import carpets, we import dry fruits. So there are so many things which we can both do commonly. But unfortunately, the only problem which exists in the middle is a non-banking channel. The day a banking channel exists, more than $600 million of bilateral trade can be bought back again. So I request all the trade authorities over here today to please look into this matter seriously. Just today, from one of our very esteemed exporter guard rice mills from Lahore have emailed me saying that they are facing the same problem from Iran of this e-form settlement issue. But unfortunately, there is nothing as a trade body we can do over here. So trade exporters are there who want to do business, but unfortunately, the governments are not helping us out. Although they have done a wonderful job, both TDAP, Pakistan Ministry of Commerce have done a wonderful job. The Iranian governments have tried their best, but some problems exist which needs to be identified, and we need to follow the pattern which India and Iran have done. And inshallah, I hope that soon we will definitely come to a conclusion. Thank you so much.
Inshallah, Mr. Malik Faisal Jahangir, thank you very much for discussing rice exports to Iran in details and issues of rice exporters and suggestions to promote rice exports in Iran. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Mr. Hassam B. A. Halaj, Deputy for International Affairs, Tehran, Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Please, sir.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests. It's a great pleasure for me to speak at this webinar on behalf of Tehran Chamber of Commerce, which is considered as the largest business community of Iran and the private sector think tank for the economic and track activities. From my point of view, I can see the mutual benefits of bilateral business and trade cooperation between our two sides. Considering the huge potentials of trade and economic opportunities in Iran, like huge natural resources, skilled and educated workers, cheap energy prices, a market in a region with almost 400 million populations, and change in the recent political situation, as well as the huge existing opportunity in Pakistan, hopes amongst the economic players and business leaders have been increased to perceive of the coming years as the best and most fruitful era for the promotion of Iran international business transactions and its economic integration with our neighbors and globally. Although resumption of oil purchase from Iran has been important in this regard, the interesting point is that exchange of non-oil products has been significantly important in Iran transactions. Looking ahead, with the removal of barriers, private sector of Iran and Pakistan can play a constructive and important role in strengthening the bilateral economic ties as the business interaction between the two countries are at a lower level than their potentials. Our recent visit to Pakistan in 2020 was a fruitful and positive business trip, and it followed up with joint webinars with Karachi and Lahore Chambers of Commerce in recent months, which were received by our members and great engagement from participants of both sides, like Pakistan and Iran. Such initiatives were productive in broadening bilateral business ties between our two countries. We must now do our utmost effort and take initiatives to bring our business relations back on the track. Combined efforts are needed to achieve the satisfactory level in trade for the both countries in coming years. In view of this, we can do more to enhance our trade relations toward narrowing the sizable gap that is present and explore more economic opportunities in areas such as energy, petrochemical, food and pharmaceutical industries, which can easily promote our volume of trade up to 5 billion US dollar. To broaden the economic ties, measures needs to be taken to overcome the challenges of high tariffs as well as the absence of banking channels. Furthermore, infrastructure connectivity ought to be improved. These are almost that these need to be done to fully attain the trade potentials. It's also noteworthy to mention the removal of high tariff barriers, easing the barriers and difficulties in the customs and borders, joint efforts to reach to free trade agreements, setting up joint ventures, developing industry cities close to the neighbors, and transferring technology could be key to development success. However, complications arising from absence of financial and banking channels can be mitigated by other trading mechanisms such as barter trade. Tehran Chamber of Commerce has designed a mechanism of SPV to facilitate and speed up economic and commercial transactions between the two countries. This proposal shall be presented in upcoming days to the Embassy of Pakistan in Tehran, and we hope agrees with the proposal from the Pakistani side. We believe the opening of the Rimdan Gap cross-border at the end of 2020, as well as opening Pishinman border crossing between the two countries in 2 weeks, would accelerate economic activities in bordering region, with creating more opportunity from expanding economic and trade ties between the two countries. We also take this view that linking the port of Chabahar Gwadar will pave the way for regional cooperation between the two neighboring countries, and with establishing joint venture in Chabahar, both countries' products can be exported to Central Asia and Eurasian market via connectivity of north-south transport corridor. Hopefully, Iran and Pakistan trade development will reach to a level that both countries collaborate in joint venture and promoting partnership for the purpose of seizing the opportunity arising from markets of the two countries. Tehran Chamber of Commerce with more than 20,000 members active in all fields of activity and a share of almost 40% of the country's GDP, with the cooperation of its counterparts in Pakistan, can play an important role in promoting trade and business relations and hope to remove the existing barriers between the two sides. I'm optimistic that holding this and such gatherings event could assist expansion of the relation, and to this end, Tehran Chamber of Commerce is ready to support in all means. Once again, I wish to thank Mr. Ahmad Masood, the Honorable Trade and Investment Counselor of the Embassy of Pakistan in Tehran, for his cooperation and efforts, and I wish to extend my gratitude to the organizer of this event, and I wish you all success and blessing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Asamdeen Hanaj, for your discussion and proposals. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Abdul Hakim Wiki, President Zahedan Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Fuad Fasi, the foreign affairs specialist of Zahedan Chamber of Commerce. Unfortunately, Mr. Rigi apologized for not attending this meeting. Actually, they had a simultaneously meeting with the Pakistan Minister of Commerce. So the whole board of directors are missing over here. And Mr. Rigi asked me to apologize for not attending this meeting, but he left a note, so I'm gonna read it. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, Before everything, I would like to admit my full appreciation to His Excellency Mr. Masood Ahmad for arranging this meeting and convey my greetings to Her Excellency Mr. Benazir Chachar for other esteemed participants. It is my pleasure to attend this meeting. However, I wished that I could meet my Pakistani brothers as our special guests in Zahedan, which COVID-19 has deprived us from this great honor. I'm glad to say that Ramadan border has started to set out as a second official border of both countries, and hopefully we will witness the opening of Pishin border market as a third official border in coming days, which can play a great and significant role in developing of trade of both countries. But we should keep in mind that we won't be able to achieve this goal until we facilitate this area and also implement the barter trade. As I have said in almost every meeting, that the barter trade is the key and only possible solution for the bilateral trade promotion between both countries. The proposal barter trade mechanism has been created by Iranian side, and we are ready to share it with our Pakistani brothers. I have to add in this part that even Iran and Pakistan Joint Chamber of Commerce also has created another mechanism, and we are trying to have a meeting with Iran Trade Promotion Office to send it to our Pakistani brothers through Foreign Ministry. Hopefully, you will receive it very soon. I am fully aware that the implement of such a mechanism can take a lot of work and time, but it is the only path of success and prosperity in obtaining $5 billion bilateral trade target that has been set before. There are many other obstacles, such as that has to be removed, like lifting the ban on importing of Pakistan quinoa and mango and exporting Iranian apple. That we are doing our best to solve the issue. Its only impact is increasing the rate of smuggling of mentioned goods. We are looking forward to deduct the commodities mentioned on PTA to 120 items and adding more discount. And on the next step, sign the free trade agreement between two friend and brother countries. At the end of my speech, I am hoping that with your effort and interest, in this area, the bilateral relation between two countries will increase, hopefully. And we will look to it to be flourish really soon. Thank you so much. I apologize again for not attending, from Mr. Rigi's side for not attending this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdul Hakim, President Zahedan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for your appreciation to Mr. Masood Ahmad, Trade Investment Counselor of Pakistan at Tehran and India. Thank you very much, sir, for your whole discussion and your proposals. And now I would like to invite Mr. Said Raza Aghazadi, DG Trade Promotion Organization of Iran. Please.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy that I'm here to present some point from our organization, TPO. As you know, Iran TPO is going to facilitate between two countries' relation, commercial relation. And as we are governmental section, in recent years, we try to pave route of a commercial relation between two countries, especially as you know, there are a lot of untapped potential between two countries. We are trying to activate two countries relation in frame of joint committee and also in the frame of the joint trade committee, joint border committee, and also, as you know, there are a lot of discussion on free trade between two countries. As you know, we are a governmental section, and we are trying to facilitate and expedite between two countries relation. And as you know, as a other participant calculated a lot of potential zones that two countries can enhance relation between two countries. I don't mention them again as our time is short, and here I try to emphasize on the infrastructure that we are going to have between two countries, businessmen and business units. As Mr. Faisal Jahangir said, rice is very important commodity that Iran can provide from Pakistan. In nowadays trade regional commercial relation between neighbor countries are very important, and as a traditionally Iran and Pakistan has a lot of relation in recent years, and from immemorial ages we have relation between two countries. So we are going to activate a lot of untapped potential that two countries have, especially rice from Pakistan. And as you know, we can provide a lot of petrochemical and energy, electricity for Pakistani party. As you know, there are a lot of shortage in electricity in Pakistan, and Iran as a big source of energy can provide a lot of electricity and a lot of petrochemical products. And fortunately, there are a lot of Pakistani businessmen in Iran, and in also they can facilitate. They completely know our culture, and we are so happy that we are a sponsor for them. And in recent progress, we try to emphasize on border markets that can enhance welfare of the people of the cities on the border, especially in Zahedan and Baluchistan. We are going to launch customs and facilitate and expedite a lot of facilities that can enhance and can increase the volume of the two countries relationship in business. And as you know, that Iran import annually, as Mr. Faisal Jahangir mentioned, $1 billion rice. And for this reason, we should find a mechanism to use and exploit this potential from Pakistan. We should find a way. As you know, there are a lot of problems for providing from rice from Pakistan nowadays, and as a GTC faced a lot of problem for providing rice, and it is very important pivot relation between two countries. And on the other hand, Iran can provide a lot of energy, a lot of petrochemical products that are needed, and it's the eternal need of Pakistan. And there are a lot of eternal needs from Iran. As I mentioned, rice is one of the most important that we should find a way. We should find a mechanism to have one of them maybe barter trading. For example, as you know, Iran energy producer ministry provided electricity for Pakistani party, and on the other hand, we tried to provide our rice. As you know, Iran import around 1 million ton rice annually, and it is very good, and it's very reachable issue that two countries can form their barter trading. And I ask all of my colleagues in this webinar that we should follow up this issue, and we should find a way, a mechanism to, as you know, we can provide a lot of things for Pakistan market, pharmaceutical And my friend said, it's very important. Iran is very, very strong for providing medicine, API, and a lot of range of the pharmaceutical products. So it's very available for Pakistani parties. But as you know, there are a lot of, unfortunately, sanction principle that affected our relation. But it's not the end of the world. We should find a way. We should find a way through our private sections. And it is completely solvable, and it's very easy to find a commercial ways. So I ask all of gentlemen and gentlewomen that find a way, a mechanism to promote and enhance two countries' commercial relation. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reza Alazadi, DG Trade Promotion Organization, Iran. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the speakers. And now we are opening this forum for questions. Participants may ask their questions. Please.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yes.
Am I allowed?
Please introduce
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. My name.
You are not audible.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Now.
Yes. Yes, madam. Dr. Zohri Chima from International Petrochemicals. We have been doing business with Iran, especially in chemicals and petrochemicals, last 40 years, I should say. And first of all, I would like to thank you, all the organizers and participants of the webinar. Now, as I heard the various speakers, we have come to three conclusions. One is the payment problem, the other is the regulatory barriers on the both sides, and third is the infrastructure and the movements of goods issues, mainly in our area of Balochistan. So these are the three major factors which are hindering the trade flow and the trade flourishment. So if we want to take the real benefit of such meetings and the webinars, I would request that a working group, which includes a banking, State Bank of Pakistan and Bank-e Markazi Iran, and similarly one from the FBR from the Pakistan side, and one person from the Gumruk of Iran, and the other one from the railways of Pakistan and railways of Iran. This is at least 3 people from this side and 3 people from that side, and then yes, definitely one representative from the trading bodies and traders and importers and exporters of Pakistan, and similarly from the chambers of commerce of Zahedan or chamber of commerce of Tehran. And 3 and 4% from that side of the border, they should meet and really come up with an actionable plan with some time frame. Otherwise, these talks, these suggestions, yes, okay. Allow the
disconnected, sir. You are not connected now.
To be a real actionable plan where we can get the real benefit of
The sound is not clear from your side. You are not clear. We are not hearing you.
May I say something, Ms. Benazir?
Yes, sir.
I am Ali from Engineering Development Board. I just wanted to say something about the trade of engineering goods between the two countries. As I have got data, the Iran is importing the goods related to engineering around 15 billion, which with the previous trade has reduced because of they have much capability to manufacture the engineering goods. Similarly, they are exporting some goods, but the volume of engineering goods they are importing from Pakistan is very, very low. That we can say 4 to 5 million US dollars goods they are importing from Pakistan. So there's a big potential between two countries to trade the goods and have a joint venture to benefit from the experience of each other. So I would suggest to have a joint working group on the engineering side. So both countries can promote the trade of engineering goods between two countries. And I think the review of PTA is very a good step and will benefit both countries to enhance the trade of engineering and other goods. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, and I hope that your suggestion has been noted at both ends, Pakistan and Iran. Anybody else? Yes, Mr. Feroz Khan.
Assalamu alaikum, first of all to everyone. And I'm speaking from Islamabad, Pakistan. My name is Nawab Firoz Khan. I'm speaking as the Director Relations on behalf of Harun Brothers & Co., the official freight forwarders for ITI trade that is being inaugurated very soon, inshallah, from Islamabad, Tehran, and Istanbul. We are enhancing the business, and we already have been in cooperation with the Quetta Chamber of Commerce, and furthermore, we are heading towards Zahedan for MOU with the Chamber of Commerce, with the Zahedan Chamber of Commerce. So, let me tell you, madam, that for this train, we have done some official meetings, and the Pakistan Railway has officially appointed us their official freight forwarders. So for this, we just, I wanted to add the participants of they were here before told that about the e-form that State Bank is not facilitating them and these type of things. Actually, our technical team is working on this, and I would like to tell that through this ITI train, we are clearing up this issue with the government of Pakistan. Also, we have put some of our financial, you can say, things in front of the government to make some good solution for this bilateral trade. Secondly, the other thing is this, that sorry, hello.
Yes, Feroz Khan, sir.
Yes, can you hear me, madam?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah, thank you. The other thing is this, that to improve the business from both of the sides, from Iran, Pakistan, and Turkey, it is very much needed that Pakistan Railway has not very good tracks. I personally have visited the places in Balochistan, the track which is connecting to Zahedan for the trade, that Pakistan's railway track is almost 100 years old. So we need very quickly to upgrade the track for the good speed for that train, and for that, because in past in 2009 this train was being inaugurated by the government of Pakistan, but for some of these technical issues, this train was not been successfully and it was being stopped. So I think that inshallah, we are doing our best to increase the trade between Pakistan, Iran, and Turkey. And we are looking forward for the other business persons from Iran also, so they may connect with us. And if you allow me, we can also share our company profile here on this forum. So any of the Iranian company who is being and the business people who are interested to bring that to cooperate in this you can say business forum with in ITA train, we can help them out in freight forwarding. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Feroz Khan. Your suggestions are noted at both the ends. Thank you. Mr. Zahur Ilahi Chima was with us. You were disconnected a few minutes ago. Would you like to continue or?
Yeah, thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much. Just it was disruption of the connection. So my request was that a working group, including the State Bank and the Central Bank of Iran, and similarly the regulatory bodies FBR and Gumruk of Iran, and infrastructure, railway on this side and railway on that side, with some representation of the trading community. I think that should, with a time frame manner, come up with the real actionable plan because the potential is unmatched and undeniable that exists between the both countries, and being neighbors and having social and religious all the relationships. I think there are a few real impediments which way leashed, and the things can move forward. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Zahur Ilahi Sahab. Your request is noted. Anybody else?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Karun Nadeem.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to say something about, because our company is Renacon Pharma. We belongs to the pharmaceutical industry. Can you hear me?
We can.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So we are looking for some pharmaceutical products from Iran. So for that grounds, I would like to know some mechanism that how we can do the barter system between Iran if we want to import from Iran some biological products, including some APIs or any sort of biological products. So then how we can do the exchange between Iran that we are producing the hemodialysis concentrate. So how we can exchange with Iran if we go with this kind of mechanism? That is my question. Hello?
Question, hello, answer will
Yes, yes.
come from Iranian side. Raidan Chamber, would you like to respond?
Assalamu alaikum. Could you please repeat the question? Actually, I was attending
Okay.
a party right now.
Okay. I would like to say that we belongs to the pharmaceutical industry and we are making pharmaceutical products. And we would like to import any APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients from Iran, or we want to import the biological products from Iran, like EPO or any injections, prefilled syringes from Iran. My question is that if we use the barter system, if we use to go with this mechanism, that how we can do or how we can be facilitate by giving some sort of product, because we are making the dialysis product, or if you don't need the dialysis product, then how you can give us your products in exchange if you don't need our products? That's my question, and I need the mechanism that if you have any sort of mechanism for pharmaceutical industries.
Actually, sir, the mechanism that has been created by Iran and Pakistan Joint Chamber of Commerce is around maybe 70 pages. It's really long. I can't explain the details over here, but it has not been finalized. We have just created, and we have to deliver it to the our government authorities to create the meeting with our Pakistani brothers to bring it together actually and implement it on the small basis, and after that if it's successful, then we upgrade it to the next level.
Okay, because the whole meeting was conducted and I have listened about the rice, about the sports industry and other relevant industries, but I haven't heard about the pharmaceutical solutions. So that's why I raised my question against the pharmaceutical, that if you want to import from Iran any APIs or any biological product, what in exchange we can give it to Iran, right?
This has been foreseen in that, but I don't know about the details. I can try to ask it from my boss or some from the Iran and Pakistan Joint Chamber of Commerce and answer your question, sir. Later, I will just keep my contact number so you can just give me the message from WhatsApp, and then I will reply to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So nice of you, sir. Thank you.
So if I may ask a follow-up question, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, this is me, Nazanin. Can you hear me?
Sorry, can
Hello?
you hear me?
Yeah, I hear.
Yes.
Can you
I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't hear.
Okay. Can I speak?
What?
Can I speak?
Yes, sure. You.
Okay. This is me, Nazanin, from Iran. We have an export management company special in medical health field, and we holding expo about the medical devices and drugs and anything regards to the health. So I want to ask you about the meeting or about the some groups if you have, and we want to have a good connection. There are so many Iranian good companies that produce medical devices, drugs, and many things in the health. and wants to work with Pakistan. But unfortunately, regarding Corona, we cannot take part in any Pakistan directly. So we need the link, and we want to create a connection between Iranian companies and Pakistani company, especially in health. And I can manage as an agent from them about anything you want, regards to introducing a company, regards to finding any product you want, and regarding the medical show or B2B meeting, everything in the medical I can provide for the businessman in Pakistan. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello, sir, would you like to speak? Masood Ahmed sir?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Mustafa. Actually, I'm Trade Development Officer, Embassy of Pakistan in Tehran.
Sound is not clear.
Madam, do you hear me?
No. Hello? Hello?
Do you hear me, madam?
Hello?
Hello.
Andy? Yes.
Okay, this is Mustafa. Actually, I'm a Trade Development Officer of Embassy of Pakistan in Tehran. Actually, about the lady who just asked about the export of medical to Pakistan, and they can contact us and we can provide them the information. That's no problem. And about the gentleman who asked about the questions about joint working groups, the working groups actually we already have enough working groups in Iran and between Iran and Pakistan. We have JTC, we have JBTC, and JTC Joint Trade Committee, we have Joint Border Trade Committee, and we have actually Quetta Chamber and Zahedan Chamber. That both chambers are also working on the barter trade mechanism. Sorry, do you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we are hearing you.
Yeah. Actually, now about the items that the gentleman asked, that actually, what is the mechanism for trade between Pakistan and Iran? You know, we already have the mechanism of currency companies, exchange companies, I mean. The exchange companies are already doing this job, and actually the trade between Iran and Pakistan is taking place through exchange companies, and yeah, of course, it is coming through Dubai and through third countries. Surgical items, surgical and dental instruments are imported to Iran through, I mean, Dubai and UAE. So such a mechanism is already there. But for barter trade, Iran and Pakistan authorities are already working on that, about the list of the items, that which items actually should in the list of the actually barter trade, and hopefully it will be finalized soon. And as I said, both authorities are working on that. Over to you, madam.
Okay. Anybody else? We may close the forum.
Can you hear me, Miss?
Surur,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Can you hear me? I can talk now.
Okay, talk.
Okay. My name is Sur Kabamer, and I'm working in a trade promotion home that consulate for commercial and financial issues for a trade field. And I have a question that is, I heard many things about issues about the payment in football and petrochemical and everything. But what is the reality of solution of these issues that we just in webinar and everything, we just talk about issues and we don't talk about the solution of these problems. And another my question is, I'm a researcher in university, and in our laboratories we can find one tool, and because we're banding from United States, and this tool is exists in Pakistan. But I'm many times go for everywhere that we have to make a relationship with this representation and to university. But I'm here about everything that oil, football, everything, but I didn't hear about the tools in laboratory, in education, in nanomaterial, nothing. I'm working in Expo 2020, and I made a research for Pakistan, and I know that the Pakistan in 2020 Expo that exists in technology, and and this country is really improved in that in this field of technology. But Iran unfortunately doesn't improve in this technology, and we have to make a relationship with this country to Pakistan. This was my question. Thank you. Hello?
Hello? Yes, Mr. Root?
Yes, I asked my question. Please, anybody that answer to me.
Okay, you said questions, whatever this is a trade forum. Whatever questions are raised during these webinars, all are solved mostly, and I think these are very fruitful forums for discussions and for solution of problems. We have always heard the questions. We have tried to solve them. Masood sir, would you like to talk?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I can't hear. Yes, here
may
you
I
are.
ask
Yes.
the lady who actually repeat your question, and that maybe I can reply to your question. Sorry.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah. Please repeat your question. That I can answer, maybe I can answer your question.
Okay. Sure. I ask every time, everywhere in webinars, just we talk about the problems in every field of commercial and financial issues. I heard now today in this webinar, but we didn't talk about the solution of all of these problems. And another my question that I'm a researcher in university, and I have a problem in finding some tools in microwave, and this tool it exists in Pakistan that have a representation from company in United States. And I have to say that today we discussed about many things except It's a good topic. I think that we can make a relationship with Iran and Pakistan for this representation that in Pakistan have these tools. And I'm working in Expo 2020 and I researched many times for pavilion of Pakistan in Expo 2020. And I realized that Pakistan have a really improvement in technology, but unfortunately in Iran, we have improvement in technology, but not so much. And I think we can make a relationship with this Iran and Pakistan. Can you answer me, please?
Okay. Actually, Madam, shall I answer, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, about IT and ICT, sorry, there are actually some joint working groups are already going on between the two Ministry of Information and Technology of Iran and Ministry of Information and Technology of Pakistan. And they have already, you know that amid COVID-19, such meetings have to go on to online. And as we know that for this purpose, there is already some communication between the two ministries, and they are working on the improvement of the bilateral actually relationship on IT and ICT. So we have to actually wait for the actually outcome of this meeting. And another thing that you said that the solutions about the trading and other things, I believe so. So you see, both government, you know, Iran is under sanction. This is a fact. And Iran is working hard to get rid of these actually sanctions. And the other problem is that actually there is no banking payment mechanism between the two countries. Okay. And this is complicating the trading between the two countries. Also, as actually Zahedan Chamber of Commerce said, actually Mr. Fasihi read the message of Mr. Rigi. The only solution here is the actually barter trade mechanism. Barter trade mechanism can solve many problems, and both governments, both sides actually should work on that. And as they are working, as the Tehran Chamber has already showed interest that to make connection with the chambers of Pakistan, Zahedan is already working on that. And in the meetings that His Excellency Ambassador and Mr. Masood Ahmad had with the Iranian authorities, they are emphasizing on the improvement and making a barter trade mechanism between the two countries. So such actions are already going on, and you know that with the new government of the US, we are actually not. We actually it is expected that problems to be a little bit relieved or released.
Yes, I understand. Okay. Can I ask another question? Sorry.
Please go ahead.
Yes, I'm working in a company, trade promotion home, that consulate to a businessman that in international that communicate in internal businessman and external in all of the countries in the world businessman. And in this field, if can I help find a businessman that they can to share in this technology of tools in Pakistan and share to this relationship between Iran and Pakistan?
Actually, you know, madam, we are as a commercial section of Embassy of Pakistan in Tehran. We receive many calls, many emails, and many receivers, visitors in our office every day, and every day I can tell you.
Yeah.
I'm most welcome, and yeah, please you can contact us in commercial section, and we will be glad to help you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, Ehsan, sir, do you want to say something?
Yes, please.
Yes, this will be the last question, and after this, we will close this forum. Yes, Ehsan, sir.
Sorry for interruption, madam. I would like to also talk for a moment, please, after Mr. Thank you.
Can you hear me, madam?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Assalamu alaikum to everybody. मैं एहसान नजफी हूँ. मैं graduate UET University of Engineering and Technology Lahore, session 1980-85. And मैं तकरीबन 30 साल पाकिस्तान के साथ बिजनेस करता हूँ. कोऑपरेशन है इन डिफरेंट फील्ड. पाकिस्तान मेरा दूसरा घर है और मैं बहुत इंटरेस्ट हूँ इसको फॉलो करना. Now I will continue my explanation in English. You know, out of my about 30 years of experience, cooperation, going and coming to Pakistan, working there, I understand that there are two major obstacles. Main is the, you know, the US sanctions against Iran, which affects the behavior of the Pakistani counterparts. And also, I think that, you know, in the execution section of the Iranian lower managers, there is less interest to cooperate with Pakistan. You know, our leaders, the supreme leader, the president, ministers, all of them always emphasizing the increase of the cooperation with Pakistan and other countries, neighboring countries, especially Pakistan. But unfortunately, you know, this has not taken place and it has not come to the level that it is desired. So from Pakistan part, as I said, also the obstacle is the, you know, the fear of the US sanctions. Many of the now the businessmen from Pakistan, they emphasize the not feeling and not stamping the E4 by the State Bank of Pakistan. Also, as you know, that IP, Iran-Pakistan gas pipe is also pending due to this matter. So I hope that, you know, Pakistani government will, you know, have a better day to come ahead, and also in Iranian side, the managers have the better understanding and better interest to increase the cooperation with Pakistan. Thank you for giving me the time.
Sorry, can I start?
Thank you very much, madam, for giving me the floor again. Just wanted to point out some more points at the end. As some of the speakers told about the surgical instruments to be and from Iran to Pakistan, how we can increase that trade. In all those specific things, just I would like to tell that that Pakistan is taking initiative by making this ITI train a very progressive phase for the trilateral trade through Pakistan, Iran, and Turkey. Just here, I would like to add one thing, madam, that all the business companies who would like to trade through land, this is the best opportunity for them to get involved in and connect through Europe. This will not even benefit to Iran and Turkey only. It will also benefit the other landlocked countries which has no sea that been connected by the train. This ITI train has a very big impact on the Central Asia. So all those, just recently, I would add, recently one major shipment from Turkey, like a group of companies even to us, and we are bringing large Turkey. So will be reaching to Pakistan very soon. So it is a very big phase. Which every company, every business person can come and interact and put their share into this. And I would like that, inshallah, very soon we will resolve all the issues for the financial issues which are being with the businessmen there in Iran. Iran is facing sanctions in all around the world through the US government and these type of things. So we have all these things noted, very well noted, and inshallah, with the help of the government of Pakistan, we are hopeful that government of Pakistan and government of Iran will collaborate together. We have a very good relation in past too, and we have very good relations in present time also. Prime Minister Imran Khan's vision is very clear about this whole thing, and we are very optimistic for this trade. And any on this forum, I know the multiple entrepreneurs are connected with here with us, and my message is to them that inshallah we will increase this trade through this route from and we will moderate this ITI train, and this will be the one of the best freight route for in the Central Asia, inshallah ta'ala, with the help of Pakistan Railway and with the help of Pakistan government. Thank you, madam.
Can I talk?
We are closing this for time.
Hello, can I talk? Can you hear me?
Muhammad Javed sir, yes. This will be the last question. Muhammad Javed.
Thank you very much. I'm Javad Khadibi, the CEO of Milad Noor Exhibition. I want to have some of titles about Milad Noor Exhibition Company. Milad Noor Exhibition Company is one of the famous organizers of Iran. This company has held many exhibitions since 2003. Our main exhibitions are International Exhibition of Sporting Goods, equipments for 50, International Exhibition of Rail Transportation and Related for 8 years. Also, International Exhibition of Mother, Baby, Child, or MBC years, and two related exhibitions about Pakistan. The establishment of Pavilion of the Islamic Republic of Iran in Pakistan, largest consumer exhibition, ICPF, Karachi. The establishment of the Pavilion Islamic Republic of Iran in Pakistan, largest health sector event of Health Asia, Karachi. There are numerous areas for expanding trade relations between friendly and brotherly countries, Iran and Pakistan, by making an interactive relationship between with Iran embassy in Iran and the steam chancellor, Mr. Masoud Ahmad, and the Iranian consulate in Karachi have tried to establish B2B meetings between two countries to have effective communication among businessmen to facilitate the trades. Also, we have a travel agency named Limak Parvar Agency, the subsidiary company of Milad Noor. This agency, with permission of TPO of Iran, has the possibility of sending and accepting trade delegations between the two countries to establish mutual communication. I talked about our field of activity, and I'm happy to be here, and thank you very much from you and Mr. Sepahi again and again, and Mr. Mehmet. Hope to have a nice cooperation with each other between Iran and Pakistan, fields of exhibitions and more B2B meetings. Thank you very much.
Mr. Najam.
Hello, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Wish you all the good day. And I'm cutting to the chase and to the subjects. There are two problems that I understood from this meeting. that there are mutual problems between all the traders and people who is working between Iran and Pakistan. My name is Surna, and I'm representative of the company Najm Petrol. We are exporter of the oil and petroleum and petrochemical products and derivatives to Pakistan. There are two problems that mutual between all the companies. First of all, it's the money transfer problems, and most of the traders doesn't know that you can handle the money transfer between them. From 2015, I think, we solved the problem between Iran and Pakistan, between Hikmat Bank and the Sadrat Bank of Iran, that all the traders who could doesn't wanted to trade with cash or with exchange stores, they can do LCs between Hikmat Bank and Sadrat Bank from 2015. And most of the traders doesn't know that and they aren't aware of that. And the second problem is the custom problems between Iran and Pakistan. And as you know, Pakistan changed their rules of the importing products from the Iran, and that's the main problem for the traders, because every day or every week or every month, trader who scheduled the export of his products to Pakistan, but at the meantime, Pakistan changed the rules for importing that product, especially oil derivatives or petrochemical derivatives to that country. And I think these two problems are the main problems for exporting Iranian products to Pakistan. And one of them has solved the issues, like opening an LC between Hikmat Bank and Sadrat Bank. And I don't see any problems that doesn't have any solution for that. Any other questions? I'm at your service.
Now we are closing this forum. We did that Trade Authority of Pakistan and Trade Investment Counselor of Pakistan at Tehran, Mr. Masood Ahmed. We all are very much thankful to all the participants that you will join this forum and give your valuable views to us. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Sir, आप कुछ कहेंगे? Would you say something? Masood Ahmed sir. Sound नहीं आ रहा है.
Hey, please just hold on. He has a technical problem. I will just give to speak on my phone. Just hold on, please. Sir, you don't have voice. You said something.
What? Yes, I want to thank all the participants and Trade Development Authority of Pakistan for organizing and coordinating such a useful webinar where both sides could interact with each other and share the problems and the solution. So this type of interaction should continue in the future also, so that the business community of both the countries, they have a platform for interaction and further collaboration in bilateral trade. Thank you very much.